Hey everyone, a lot has changed since I made my most recent SoFi stock price prediction for 2024. So, in this video, I'll update my stock price expectations for SoFi by the end of 2024. I'll use earnings per share expectations for 2025. I'll use the forward price to earnings ratio, and I'll combine them to create my estimate and assumptions for the range of outcomes possible for SoFi stock in 2024. So let's take a look. All right. SoFi stock price currently trading for $6.41. It's down from over $9.60 where it started the year. In recent days, SoFi stock price has been dropped even further after a major investor lost a board seat and sold all of their shares. That selling pressure brought down SoFi stock price even further. I'll discuss some of the other reasons causing SoFi stock price to fall a little bit later in the video when I discuss where I think the valuation will end in 2024. I'm also going to use SoFi Technologies forward price to earnings ratio. It's currently trading at the cheapest valuation it's been according to this metric, going all the way back to early 2023. SoFi is currently trading at a forward price to earnings of 29.47. Additionally, I'll need SoFi's earnings per share expectations for 2025. And you can see here the current estimate for SoFi's earnings per share estimates for 2025 is 24 cents per share. Now, these estimates are delivered by Wall Street analysts that are following SoFi stock. It could be a range of outcomes, and this is the consensus among those analysts that are following SoFi stock. Now, nobody knows the future, so it's not certain that this is precisely what its earnings per share will be next year, but this is the estimate from those that are closest following SoFi stock, the financial analysts that are closest to SoFi. They've been following this stock. They have relationships with management. They participate in the conference calls. They have financial models, and so they've predicted that this is the range of outcomes. Now, you'll also notice that the earnings per share estimate hasn't changed by all that much in the last 90 days. The estimate was 25 cents 90 days ago. Then it was 27 cents 60 days ago. Then 30 days ago, it dropped to 24 cents and it's remained here for the last 30 days. So not very volatile in terms of the changes in earnings per share expectations, but the stock price has been volatile. So those two haven't connected, and the primary reason for that was that big sale I mentioned by one of the board members that lost the board seat and sold significant shares. I like those opportunities. When somebody sells their position and their exit creates a lower valuation, I like that as a reason to invest in a company. I like when the company I'm considering investing in becomes out of favor, unpopular, and set aside. That makes it more attractive because it brings down the valuation and increases the potential return. Hey everyone, I wanted to take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video. Moomoo is a trading platform that allows individuals to buy and sell stocks and other investments. I posted the link to Moomoo in the description below. If you use that link to sign up to Moomoo, it'll help support my channel, but more importantly, you can get special incentives for using my link, including up to extra 10 free stocks. So now that I've put together the numbers that I will use to make the forecast, let's go ahead and look at the scenarios. If SoFi Technologies earnings per share does stay on trend for 24 cents per share by 2025, and the forward price to earnings stays at $29.47, 29.5 times, then the stock price could rise to $7.07 by the end of this year. Now, the stock price is currently at $6.41, so that would be an increase of 66 cents for a little more than 6 months, a more than 10% rate of return, which would be solid to be sure. However, if the forward PE were to increase to 32, then the stock price could rise to $7.68 by the end of the year. If the forward PE rises further to $8.40, if the forward PE rises to 35, then the stock price could rise to $8.40. However, there is a downside scenario which could bring SoFi Technologies forward PE multiple down. And if it were to fall to 20, then the stock price could fall to $4.80, which would be down from $6.41 where it's currently trading at. And given the magnitude of the stock price decline off the high, I don't think SoFi stock investors would be devastated by that downside scenario. Now you might be asking, what would cause this downside scenario? And my primary reason that would cause this downside scenario is continued economic weakness in the US. I've already shared with you in previous videos that SoFi's portfolio of loans consists primarily of personal loans, which are quicker to default than other types of loans. I've also shared with you the rising delinquency rates for credit card payments in the US. They've been rising steadily. I've also shared with you that credit card balances are rising significantly near highest levels, near the record high levels in recent months. Also, the unemployment rate has been rising steadily. It's still very low, but it has been rising steadily. And the Federal Reserve has kept interest rates elevated up above 5% for some time now. So if all of those factors continue slowing economic activity and people start defaulting on their payments at a larger magnitude, then that would be hurtful to SoFi because it has billions and billions of dollars of personal loans outstanding. And so those will start to default at a higher percentage, and then investors would be less interested in owning SoFi stock in that scenario. So that's the downside scenario. That's what could bring the multiple down. But what would bring the multiple up? Well, that would be the opposite of that. That would be the economic activity kind of slowing down, but not getting much worse. And then the Federal Reserve has indicated they will cut interest rates. They will start cutting interest rates by the end of this year, at least once. And then they've indicated they would cut interest rates by 4 more times in 2025. And those lower interest rates could increase borrowing activity and economic activity and bring the economy in for a soft landing and then a return to growth. That would cause SoFi Technologies stock price multiple to expand and perhaps even higher than 35 in that scenario if it were to go just as planned like that and the economy were to reaccelerate and increase. But what's my base case? Where do I think is the most likely outcome for 2024? I would say somewhere with the forward PE between 30 and 35 and a stock price in the range of $7.25 per share to $7.95 per share by the end of this year, which would be a very nice increase to be sure. Now, things could be much better than I'm forecasting. Things could be much worse than I'm forecasting. This is just my base case based on the numbers I have to consider using my estimates and assumptions. If you liked the video you just saw and you want to see more just like it, please subscribe to the channel. I can't keep this channel free without the support of viewers like you. And if you're already subscribed, thank you, and I appreciate your support.